The way, the truth, and the life. What did Jesus really mean? Welcome. Today we reflect on one of Jesus' most well-known statements, but perhaps one of the most misunderstood. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Is this just a declaration of who he is, or is it a radical invitation to live, think, and act in complete alignment with God's Spirit? In John 14:6-7, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Most people read this as a call to believe in Jesus as a person, but Jesus is saying something far deeper. He's not just pointing to the Father, he's revealing that the Father is already present in him. When you see Jesus, you're seeing the Father. When you hear Jesus speak, you're hearing the voice of the Father's Spirit. You cannot separate them. Jesus is the visible expression of the invisible God. You cannot see, hear, feel, or believe in Jesus without seeing, hearing, feeling, and believing in the Father, because the Father was fully present in him through the Spirit. Let's look at John 6:63. The Spirit gives life, the flesh profits nothing. The words I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life. His teachings aren't just moral advice, they're filled with divine breath. They are living words carrying the very presence of the Father. So when Jesus speaks, it is the Father speaking. When he acts, it is the Father acting through the Spirit within him. To follow Jesus, then, is not simply to follow a man, but to walk in step with the very Spirit of the Creator. So what does it mean? The way is not just a direction, it's a daily walk, a surrender to something higher. The truth is not just belief, it's a way of seeing and thinking through the Spirit. The life is not simply about eternity, it's about transformation now, through unity with the Father's Spirit. Here's a simple illustration. Imagine a detective with no solid leads. What does he do? He tries to think like the one he's searching for. He steps into their mind, their spirit, to understand their actions. In the same way, to live from the Spirit is to think as Jesus thought. And since Jesus was filled with the Father's Spirit, we are aligning with the very Spirit of our God. But is the Spirit something we must wait for? Or is it already present? In Joel 2:28, God says, I will pour out my Spirit on all people. The Spirit has been made available to everyone, like a broadcast that never stops. But unless we tune in, we won't hear it. And Jesus makes this even clearer in John 14:18-20. I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you. On that day you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. He wasn't talking about coming back in physical form. He was promising to return as Spirit. The same Spirit that was in him would now live in those who truly walk as he walked, not beside them, in them. Many say they believe in Jesus, but Jesus didn't just say, believe in me. He said, follow me. You can believe that a bridge will hold your weight, but unless you step onto it, your belief remains theory. Faith becomes real when it moves. Jesus didn't just speak about love, he lived it. He didn't just teach the way, he was the way. And in doing so, he revealed how the Father acts, thinks, and loves. So, what does it mean to truly follow Jesus? It means seeing the world through his eyes, thinking with his mind, loving with his heart, living by the same Spirit that lived in him. Because if you do, you are not just following a messenger, you are walking with the one who sent him, the Father, the Spirit, the source of life. So here's the question. Is believing in Jesus just a confession of faith? Or is it surrendering to the Spirit that was in him, the same Spirit that is now offered to you? Because if you have truly seen him, if you have truly heard him, then you have already seen and heard the Father. And maybe you've already begun to walk with him. But understand this, what I've shared here is my own interpretation, a reflection shaped by seeking, study, and prayer. It's not a doctrine, not a denomination, not a claim to have the final word, because truth isn't found in aligning with a religious group or tradition. It's found in the quiet place where understanding meets spirit. So don't just take my word for it. Read his words, reflect, ask, and let your conclusion be yours, not borrowed from a church, not based on popularity, but grounded in spirit and truth. What do you think? Share your insights in the comments and subscribe if you'd like to keep exploring the words of Jesus, not through opinion or tradition, but through clarity, spirit, and understanding. Follow for more. Instagram @TheWordsEcho. See you in the next video.